Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's recipe is stewed beef with okra. So let's get right to the recipe. This is the meat that I'm using. I'm using regular cut up beef and some bones for flavor. You're gonna need a lime, distilled vinegar I would suggest, but this is what I had, and some ground black pepper with pimiento seeds and cloves that I grounded together. Gonna need some vegetable oil, some mustard, Djon mustard, all-purpose chicken seasoning, cumin or cumin, this sazon tropical. We're gonna use that, some bay leaves, and some salt. So let's get going. And of course, the magic, the secret, Epis. I will leave a link of my Epis recipe in the description box below, as well as all the other ingredients. The struggle. But this is my beautiful Epis that I made. It's so delicious. So let's go ahead and get to the recipe. So I am not gonna use all of that meat. I'm using just a little bit of it because I didn't want to make too much. So I am using 3 bones because the bone's gonna add flavor to the stew. That's why I like to use bone in all my dishes that I'm using beef. I'm gonna use about half of that. This is a little bit over 1 pound, so I'm using about half of it. So this is the amount of meat that I use in bones. It's a good portion. It served about 4 people, so yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning the meat. You're gonna remove any parts that you feel like is bad, like this little parts. I don't know what you call them, but remove those stuff. And once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and wash the meat, rinse the meat. I am using vinegar. I am using ACV because I didn't have the white distilled vinegar. I'd rather use that, but this is also just as good. So once you've put the vinegar in the meat, you're gonna rub it a little bit, maneuver the meat in the vinegar, and then you go ahead and rinse it. After you rinse it, strain the water. So you may also use just lime or sour orange juice. So after you rinse it, you strain the water. Gonna go ahead and add the hot boiled water over the meat to get all the impurities out, and this also helps the meat tender, a little bit more tender. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add lime juice to my meat. I'm using 1 whole lime. This lime didn't have that much juice, so the juice it had was about a tablespoon. And I just added 1 tablespoon of the all-purpose chicken seasoning, 2 teaspoons of this sazon tropical. You can use whatever that you have. The other one, I don't know, but this one I think has more flavor. And so I grounded my pimiento seeds, 3 pimiento seeds, 4 cloves, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. I ground it all together. And I'm adding 1 tablespoon of the Djon mustard. You guys, mustard and meat is so delicious. It helps really marinate the meat really well. And I added 2 tablespoons of the Epis. And I am also adding 1 tablespoon of the ACV. If you have the white one, use it. And if you also have sour orange juice, use that instead. But I didn't have any and I didn't want to go to the store. I'm also adding half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of cumin. I am also adding 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Feel free to use olive oil or coconut oil, whatever oil that you like. It doesn't really matter. So after you add the oil and all your seasonings, we're gonna go ahead and stir everything. Make sure everything is perfectly seasoned, and we're gonna let it marinate. I let mine marinate overnight. That's what I usually do with all my meats. I think it's better if you have overnight, 24 hours, it's perfect, but 4 hours we'll just do. So after you've marinated your meat, you've stirred it, you're gonna let it marinate for whatever hours, 4 hours, 4 to 24 hours. And be sure to store your meat in the fridge. So now we're gonna go ahead and saute the meat for 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. So I started by adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil to my hot pan, my chaudière, and then I go ahead and add the meat. We're gonna do this step for 3 to 4 minutes. It's a Haitian method. If you ask me what it does, I really don't know. I'll be lying if I tell you I know. Why are people calling me? What the fuck? Anyways, before I was disturbed, so we're gonna saute the meat for 3 to 4 minutes. We're gonna, once it's on medium-high heat, okay? So we do that. We keep stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the chaudière. So after you've sauteed your meat for that time, you're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of cold water. It doesn't have to be really cold, just 1 cup of water. I don't know why I said that. And then add the thyme and the parsley and let it cook on medium-high heat for 30 minutes. Once the water dried up, I checked it and I added another additional cup of water. The meat wasn't ready. So this is all medium-high heat. So now we're gonna go ahead and prepare the okra. So I'm using fresh okra. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash the okra. Oh, if you don't like okra, you need to grow up, okay? I love okra. It's so yummy. It has so many health benefits. So yeah, I use it on my hair too. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the tails and the head. You don't necessarily have to do that, honestly, but growing up, this is what I see. This is what we do. But some people don't, especially other cultures. They really don't. But so just to do that. So after the water, the additional cup of water that you've added dried up, now we're gonna go ahead and start with another cup of water until the meat is tender. So I checked the meat and it wasn't ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a 3rd cup of water. So basically I added 3 cups of water to cook the meat, and I added a scotch bonnet peppers for some spice, and I also added a teaspoon of salt. With all that water, you want to make sure you check the salt, because I only added half a teaspoon when I was marinating it. So yeah, so I added another cup. You're gonna let it boil and let the water dry up again. So after the liquid have reduced, we're gonna go ahead and make the sauce. So I am going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So we're gonna dissolve that tomato paste. We're gonna keep stirring it until the tomato paste is dissolved, and after it dissolves, we're gonna go ahead and add water. So you can start by adding a little bit of water or you can just add the whole water, the whole 2 cups of water. So I added 2 cups of water to make the sauce. And then after that, I'm adding my okra. So the okra doesn't take too long to cook. I also added 1 tablespoon of the all-purpose chicken seasoning and 2 teaspoons of the Goya. Don't worry, it's not gonna be salty. So the okra doesn't take long to cook, so I'm gonna cover it. Before that, I added 2 tablespoons of butter. You may use whatever butter you like, but I am using a Haitian butter. It's lily butter that I found at my local grocery store. So now we're gonna go ahead and cover it and let it cook for 5 to 7 minutes on low heat. Okra doesn't take long to cook. So this is what it looks like, and I didn't want it to be too mushy, so 5 to 7 minutes is a good time if you don't want it to be like, you know, all mushy and stuff. And then I turn off my heat and let the steam do the rest of the work. as always guys, if you enjoyed this recipe, please give this video a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button for more. This is the final product. It's super delicious. It's something that I haven't had in a long time. This can be eaten with fufu. I don't know why I keep saying fufu. It can be eaten with tom tom. It's very similar to fufu. It's basically kind of the same thing. We just use breadfruit to make it, comparing to other cultures that use yam or plantain. So yes, it's the same concept. This is the final product. It looks delicious. You can serve it with any food you want. You can serve it with rice, with breadfruit. This is the breadfruit that we use. You can serve it with maize, whatever you like, or plantain. As always guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next video.